Find other great podcasts like this one at podmoth.network.
Hey podcast lovers, my name is Hayley and I run the Doe Identity Podcast. I have been passionate about helping the unidentified get their names back ever since I found out I lived within miles of where Sherry Ann Jarvis, formerly known as the Walker County Jane Doe, was found. In my podcast, I tell the stories and provide information about unidentified people in hopes of reaching their loved ones and getting their names back. So come join me and help me advocate for these people. You never know, you could recognize someone's story.
Hey, what's up, you guys?
My name's Kathryn.
And I'm Hayley.
And we are Saturdays for the Ghouls,
a Podmoth Podcast.
How are you today, Hayley?
I'm good, Kathryn. How are you?
I'm good. It's crime movie week this week. And the Spooky Babes, if they follow us on Instagram, know what movie we're doing. Obviously, if they've clicked on this episode, they also know what movie we're doing. But
I was going to say, if they can read.
Yeah. If they can read, unlike Leah Michelle from Glee. I'm just kidding. For legal purposes, that was a joke. Okay. It's not like anyone from anyone's team is going to listen to this podcast.
We just get sued by Ryan Murphy.
Yeah, not Leah Michelle, Ryan Murphy, who owns Leah Michelle. So the movie that we're doing today is Hush, from 2016. I just want a little round of applause. I don't know. I didn't even do anything yet. So
go around.
I'm a wrap around.
Do a wrap around.
Are you ready to talk about the movie? Do you have anything to tell us, Spooky Babes, before we get started? Oh no.
Hello, Spooky Babes. I love how you say, oh no.
I don't like ASMR, Hayley.
Hello, Spooky Babes. Welcome to the shit show. Apologies for last week. It was busy and I was sick, but I hope you guys have a good life and enjoy us talk about Hush in a hush manner. No.
When have we ever been in a hush manner?
Like right now.
Yeah, this is the only harsh part is Hayley's ASMR segment.
Okay, bye.
Oh, okay, bye. Yeah, and also, Spooky Babes, if you liked last week's episode, / if you had any spooky stories you want us to read on the podcast, we'd be happy to hear your story. So send it to us on Instagram or whatnot, and we'll read it on the air.
Whatever social media you got. You got email, you got Facebook, you got Instagram, got Snapchat.
We don't have Snapchat. You got Twitter, Reddit, plenty of fish.
Plenty of fish.
We're everywhere, baby.
We make a profile on Plenty of Fish and be like, it's me and you.
That's funny.
Oh, be like the dynamic duo.
I think that there are lots of like couple, but usually they're not like two girls who are friends or a podcast. Generally, they're like some couple that wants to have some fun.
Exactly. We want to have fun in a spooky way.
I want to have fun. I want to go to an arcade. I like to go to the movies. Those
Get
all
some
seem like
tacos
fun to me.
And get chips and salsa.
Yeah, chips and salsa. Literally, chips and salsa is the funnest time for me. All right, well, let's get into the movie, Spooky Babes. Without any further ado,
Hush.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Hush from 2016. Hayley, did you like this movie? No, wait. Let's talk about what it actually is about first. So sorry, Chaos Brain and reincarnated in me. I took it over from Hayley. So IMDb's synopsis is this. A deaf and mute writer who retreated to the wood to live a solitary life must fight for her life in silence when a masked killer appears at her window. Now, I think that's relatively accurate compared to some of the ones that we've gotten from other movies. You know what I mean? Like other synopsises. The tagline was, "Silence can be killer."
Oof.
I think that one could have used a little more work, but we'll just keep it trucking, right? Hayley, what was your favorite scene in this movie?
Mm.
Do you want to hear my watch notes?
Sure.
So I was telling Hayley about my watch notes, and this is something new that I've done recently when I watch the movie, is I just write like weird things that I think throughout the movie. And it's almost like a Kathryn synopsis, but no death, right? So it's starts out coming in hot with a good question. Is the killer hot or not? If he wasn't a killer, of course. The next idea was, and we talked about this while we were watching the movie, too much glass, too many doors, and then I said too many glass doors. Not safe.
Not safe.
And then I didn't seem to have any thoughts cross my mind until the rooftop scene, and I just put a shocked smiley face. And then I did the squinty eyes for the wound cleaning scene. And then John's scene made me really mad because she probably would have been saved if she hadn't fucked that one up.
Yeah.
And we'll get into John's scene in a little bit because anyway. And then hallelujah, little bitch was saved. Heart.
Yes.
And then hand broken, barf. Final girl fights and wins. The end.
You know, it's funny because when you said the John scene, all I kept thinking, his name is John Cena.
Yeah. I almost never think about John Cena.
Did your dad not grow up watching WWE?
Absolutely not.
No, that's why.
I was watching musicals at home. That's weird. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the movie first. So,
do I get to say my favorite scene?
Yes. Okay, let's reel it back. Hayley, what's your favorite scene now that we know about my chaos?
There's some good ones. So, fucked up Hayley wants to say the hand scene.
When he broke her hand?
Mm-hmm.
Hayley, what happens in that scene? Tell the spooky babes.
She dashes back in the house. Real fast.
Yeah.
It's a sliding glass door. There's a crossbow. She drops the arrow because she shot it, you know. And then she tries to grab it. It's on the outside of the house. And the killer man is like, nah, I don't think so. And then just slams the door on her hand. And it, like, just her, like, hand is hanging out. Yeah. And this man just fucking stomps the shit out of it.
With his very small womanly feet.
This 5'9" ass. Anyway. But, and then the rest of the movie, her hands are all, like...
Yeah. Her, like, fingers are all wonky.
Wonky. I also liked that the cat survived. Because I told Kathryn, I said, if the cat dies, I will not forgive you.
And I said, oh, look, the cat survived, although you have not done that service to me in the many movies that we've seen.
What do you mean?
The dog has died in at least 2 movies that we've seen.
I need clarification because I do not pick animal death movies.
I know I have. I will go back and I will go back and find the movie.
The one that I remember we watched where the dog dies was the one that we watched for the first time together, the Snowtown Murders.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I didn't make the cat die. I didn't show you a movie where the cat died anyway. You just thought.
They did a really good convincing because they were like going to kill the cat.
Yes, they were. And I was like, oh no, did I just forget? I was like, please don't die. Please don't die. I had this feeling that I thought that I saw her at the end, which is why I was like, okay, Hayley, whatever you say.
Turns out, yeah, where you saw her at the end was her end. No.
I mean, it could be. It very well could be. I have no bandwidth in my brain to remember a movie that I've seen over a year ago. Is that your only favorite parts? You said Toxic Hayley likes the hand scene. You were happy that little bitch was saved.
Yeah. And we're calling her little bitch because that was her name.
Yeah.
In the movie.
The girl calls her bitch.
Yeah. It's on her name tag and everything.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. I do like the scene where she's like, she writes on the wall or writes on the window or whatever, like, I haven't seen your face, so you can just leave. And then he's like,
yeah.
He's like, you've seen it now. And then, Emily's like, put it back on, you're more attractive.
He rips off his mask and is like, that was like in and of itself its own by Sam.
By Sam.
So I liked when she wrote on the window, "Do it, coward."
Oh, yeah.
At the very end, and she was just like, obviously, okay, so she's mute, so she doesn't speak, but she wrote within her own blood from her leg, she wrote on the window, "Do it," and then called him a coward. And then she was like, he was banging on the glass with a tire iron and it still didn't break. I was like, that's the sturdiest glass in the entire world.
Bro, honestly, I was like, what is this made out of? Like, what glass is this?
I mean, every other like movie with glass, there's always like they break through and then they like unlock the door. I don't know. Maybe because it was so big. I have no idea.
There's just so many windows.
Yeah, there was way too many windows. But the thing is that since she couldn't hear, that's the only way she could have seen where he was. Granted, he can also see her easier, but I mean, for someone who was hearing impaired, that's probably a good thing to have more windows because your only saving grace is the fact that you can see. I don't know how like smart it is to like seclude yourself when you are hearing impaired and mute. Like,
yeah, that's.
I understand she's a writer and maybe like secluding herself helps her write or whatever, but
I'll tell you right now, any movie where a writer decides to seclude themselves in the woods, it never turns out.
Never. I really liked that scene where she's trying to contemplate what to do. And like basically she's plotting out every scene in her head of what would happen. If she hid, she'd bleed out. If she ran, she'd get, pummeled and die. And, all these things. And the only option when you can't run and you can't hide and you can't wait is to kill him.
You fight.
I said fight, but she said kill him. So I said kill him too. And that's straight up what she did. And like, I mean, honestly, she was really, oh yeah, spoiler alert, she survives. Was that we've already told you that though. But it was really smart when she like ran to her laptop and wrote down like all the things about him and like, love you. I went out fighting just in case she didn't make it. So anyway, those are pretty much my favorite scenes. The rooftop scene was for me the most tense scene. I mean, the end was pretty tense, but I feel like the rooftop scene, where he was like shooting her with the bow and arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Shot her in the leg and she was trying to get into the window and she had to do the little crank window.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was pretty tense. Do you want to know all about this movie?
Yes. Give me all the facts.
So because of the actress, Hayley was like, is this directed by Mike Flanagan? And I was like, yes.
Okay, hold on. So I see the girl and I'm like, oh, is that the girl from Haunting of Hill House? And she's like, yes. And knowing Kathryn and how her brain works, she would not know that off the top of her head that fast.
No.
Unless she did research specifically for this movie. So I was like, okay. And then the girl, like we said earlier, she's an author or she's a writer. Same thing. So she has a book published called Midnight Mass, and Mike Flanagan also has a show called Midnight Mass. And I was like, and also I already knew that this actress is also married to Mike Flanagan in real life. So I was like, is this made by Mike Flanagan? And she's like, yes. And she's like, save it for the pod.
Which is
like,
what
I'm
I say
sorry.
every time that she starts rattling off my facts about the freaking movies. Like I said, there's not many, so the more you rattle off, the less we have to talk about. Anyway,
Sorry.
it's directed by Mike Flanagan, who also directed Before I Wake and Ouija, Origin of Evil. Those are also Mike Flanagan movies.
Oh.
It was starring Kate Siegel, who had her screenwriting debut with this movie. Obviously, she had to share that credit with her husband, but I guess that's fine. Anyway, she plays Maddie, who is the deaf and mute character. She is known for her role in Oculus, Ouija Origin of Evil, Gerald's Game, Haunting on Hill House, and Midnight Mass. I even wrote down her character name just in case you'd be like, wait, who does she play? I wanted to be impressive. What?
Who does she play?
Oh, in Oculus, she plays a girl named Marisol. I've never seen it. In Ouija Origin of Evil, she plays Jenny. Never seen it. Gerald's Game, she plays Sally. Never seen it. Haunting of Hill House, she plays Theodora. Let me guess. Never seen it. Midnight Mass, she plays Erin. And again, I've only seen a few episodes of Midnight Mass in passing because my mom watched that show and she was like, this is a little dark. She has been called a Scream Queen because she's obviously in quite a few horror movies / miniseries from Netflix. The guy who plays the man, he didn't have a name, is John Gallagher Jr. And he is also, he's in a lot of things, but something you might have remembered him from is 10 Cloverfield Lane, where he played Emmett. Have you seen that?
I never seen it.
I've seen it though. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
I almost never have seen it.
I have seen Come Play, which he's also in, and I think he plays the dad.
Oh, you see, that didn't ring a bell to me at all as like a movie that anyone knew about. So I was like, meh, when I looked at his IMDb. Anyway, and then for some reason it's listed as Maddie, the man, John, Sarah, and then Maddie's sister, even though I feel like Sarah should be above John. Anyway, John is played by Michael Trusso. I don't have anything for him. And Sarah is played by Samantha Soylent. Don't have anything for her. Emma Graves plays Max, who's Maddie's sister. There's a total of 5 characters in the whole movie, period. No more. No extras. There is someone who rode in the police car, but we never saw them. Oh, yeah. 6 characters if you count Lil Bitch, which I count Lil Bitch.
I was gonna say, little cat.
She was a great actress.
What about Craig?
Who's Craig? Oh, we never saw Craig though.
We saw his face.
Yeah, but he had no lines.
I don't know.
And he never talked to our character.
True.
So I have 0 info on how much money was made by this movie, but I do have the estimated budget. Would you like to guess how much was budgeted for this movie? 5 characters, 1 location.
Is it more than Terrifier 1?
Yeah.
500,000. More?
Yes.
1 million.
Yes. Budget is estimated to be $1 million, and then it was purchased by Netflix in the same year that it was released, and now it's a Netflix movie.
I'm on the dot. 1 million.
1 million. Yep. This movie was filmed in 18 days in Fairhope, Alabama.
Fairhope,
Alabama. Total of 5 characters on screen. And there's a body count of 3, Sarah, John, and the man. Because the main character is deaf and mute, the film contains less than 15 minutes of dialogue, meaning that 70 minutes of the whole movie goes without a single word spoken. And that's something that I think is cool. And that's something that Mike Flanagan wanted, was to try to make a movie where you didn't have to speak that much to make it scary.
Mm-hmm.
He and his wife, the main character, role played the scenes that were happening like inside the house. Don't think role playing is not always sexual. She looks at me with like her eyebrow arch. She's like, anyway, they role played the scenes in their own house before writing it down, just to envision how the characters could really act in that face of danger. Which to me, maybe that's why the man says like all those things that like are like could be construed as kind of sexual.
I know, that was so funny. He was like, maybe if I just hit the right spot, I'll make you scream. I was like, mind you,
excuse me.
Mind you, he has a knife like to her neck.
Anyway, so those are my things. The only beef that I have with this movie is this. Now, I have no idea who Mike Flanagan is. I had no idea who Kate Siegel was before I watched this movie. And honestly, I've never seen anything else they've ever done other than Hush. So there's that. But
that's crazy.
I really think that if there's going to be some sort of representation, like someone who is deaf or mute, that someone who is deaf would play the character.
Yeah.
I think that it's kind of cheap to have someone who is hearing and able to speak play that character, you know?
Yeah, it's a little messed up.
It's been almost like 10 years since that went out. I mean, 7, right? So like it could be, different now if they had made it now, but I think you get more perspective from someone who's experiencing the same things that the character is experiencing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could get more perspective of what the character is supposed to be feeling if it was someone who was really truly experiencing those things, which is why I think people who are in wheelchairs should play characters who are in wheelchairs, not people who can walk play characters in wheelchairs. I think that's something that is very valid in this day and age now that we should be working towards, but I don't know. 2016 wasn't that far away, but it is what it is. This movie was nominated for a shit ton of awards. Do you want to hear about them?
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. In 2016, they were nominated for 2 awards for the Blood Guts UK Horror Awards. And they were nominated for Best Actress, Kate was, and Best Screenplay, both Kate and Mike. They didn't win. Then in 2017, they were nominated for 2 Fangoria Chainsaw Awards, Best Limited Release Film, and Best Actress, Kate. They didn't win either. In 2016, they were nominated for a Fright Meter Award, and Kate was nominated for Best Actress in the Lead Role. Didn't win. In 2017, they were nominated for 3 eye horror awards. They were nominated for Best Actress, Kate, Best Horror Director, Mike, and Best Direct Release in Horror. They won Best Direct Release in Horror, and they didn't win anything else.
Woo!
But they did win 1, which is better than nothing, right? And then in 2016, they were nominated for Rondo Hatton Classic Horror Awards for Best Independent Film, and they did win. So they won 2 out of all of their nominated awards. So
woohoo!
It is an award-winning film. There's that at least.
I'm proud of them.
I'm proud of them too. You go, Mike. You go, Glenn Coco.
You go, Glenn Coco.
Hayley, do you want to hear about the ratings or do you want to give yours first?
You can go ahead.
You want to hear the ratings first?
Yes.
Okay. IMDb rated the movie 6.6 out of 10, which is not very good. Better than some, though. But
Yes.
it has a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh, there you
Now,
go.
for some reason, I was like, wait a second. Is Rotten Tomatoes good or bad? Because
I think
it's
it's
93.
I think
if
it's the garbage can.
Yeah, I think if it's a high percentage, it's good. Still.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So 93% on Rotten Tomatoes is pretty fantastic. And it got a 67 on Metacritic, which is about the same as IMDb. What do you rate it? As someone who's never seen it before. Sorry.
I would give it a 7.
I was thinking the same 7. I was thinking that like every time I watch it, and I understand that this is probably how it goes for most movies, but some movies I can watch over and over again and I love, but this one, every time I watch it, I think I like it a little less. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I think I remember vaguely that I really liked it when I first watched it, probably back in 2016. Now, this subgenre of horror, which is like home invasion, fight to the death, that kind of like all in one day, that kind of subgenre is my favorite, other than found footage. So like it's like found footage and then like intruders, because intruders to me is like legitimately the scariest, more so than like Freddy Krueger or something, or like Jason at Camp Crystal Lake.
Mhm.
An actual intruder inside of your home, like, is something that could happen. You know what I mean? So that's why, to me, they're the most scary. I don't think that Jason's going to come all the way from Camp Crystal Lake to my house. And I don't think that Freddy Krueger is going to be able to get me in my dreams.
We would literally make him laugh.
I bet we would.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think that he wouldn't like us very much, because I have a feeling that Freddy Krueger himself would make fun of us because we were fat. I don't know why, but he just seems like the bully vibe,
Yeah.
He pretty much is, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he doesn't like fat people. If anyone was fat phobic, it would be Freddy Krueger.
Jeez.
That's a statement I'm willing to die on.
Do you see my new shirt?
Whoa, that's cool.
It's Michael.
Yeah, it looks like Michael.
And he's like ripping off his face, and it's like his
Oh.
clown mask from when he was a kid.
That's cool. I was wondering, I was like, why is it like, it looks like he's ripping off a Michael mask and there's still a Michael mask. Hairfire, cool. Where'd you get that?
I got it from
Oh, Terror Threads, cool. Terror Threads, if you want to sponsor us, let us know.
Terror Threads. Good quality too. Like, not even trying to be like sponsor us, but like I'm genuinely surprised. They're long. The shirts are long.
Ooh, I love that.
This shirt is like the serial killer shirt that you made me.
Oh, okay. Back to what we were talking about with the ratings. I just think it wasn't reel it back. I don't think that this movie holds up to watch again and again.
Yeah.
And I don't think it holds up to like the test of time, like you're watching it 7 years after it's been released and you're like, it's a 7. And I'm watching it for like probably the third time at least, and it's probably a 7. I would maybe even go to a 6.5, but like, I don't know. I think it's an interesting concept, and it's, again, intruders are scary, more scary than a ghost to me, Anyway, that's all I got for the movie. So,
Thank you.
Thank you. And intruders really fit the true crime or the crime movie, like, because it's all crime,
And it could be true.
It could be. I doubt it, though. I did look it up to see if this was based on a true story, and it was not. As far as I could tell.
Thank you, Kathryn, for bringing us that amazing crime that's not crime that's not based on a true story.
Crime movie. But overall, did you like the movie? You said you give it a 7.
I liked it.
Do you like intruder movies?
I mean, they're not my favorite, but I see they are more scary to me because I also have a fear of someone breaking into my house. So, yeah. But I want us to watch Oculus now because you haven't seen it, and I've seen Oculus.
Okay.
I've seen I think all of Mike Flanagan's stuff.
Oh, okay. I think that the guy was hot if he wasn't a killer. He just was a little shorter than I prefer. Because I'm a giant. But for a normal girl, I think that he's fine.
For those of you wondering, Kathryn is 6 foot.
He's not like, oh my gosh, he's not the hottest man alive, but he's decent looking, I think.
He's ridiculously good looking.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Really, 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 really ridiculously good looking.
Yeah, he's ridiculously good looking.
Fucking Zoolander.
Yes. So, do you have anything for the Spooky Babes? What are we talking about next week? It's True Crime Week. How do I get the true crime and the crime movie right next to each other? How is that fair? He's like, I don't know. I haven't had to do Spooky Week for weeks now, though. I do have a true crime already set aside for next month if I want to. It's almost March, which means it's almost the month of green.
And luck. And gold.
Luck, I guess. And gold and leprechauns and Lucky Charms. Wait, no, what? Clovers, 4-leaf clover. Okay, well, Spooky Babes, it's been great. Bye. Haley's over here yawning while we're wrapping up. Well, Spooky Babes, remember to lock your doors and windows just as a good practice, especially after watching this movie. And we care about you, and we appreciate you very much, and we appreciate you watching. If you do have any spooky stories, we would love to read them if you send us to them on Instagram or Facebook. And just remember, you matter, and the world's a better place with you in it, and we will see you
in your nightmares.
In your home.
In your home. Note to self, don't get a house with windows in every room.
Yeah, right? At least have a room where you can take cover. Okay, well, bye guys.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.